Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I am sharing with you my series progress tracking spreadsheet. I had mentioned that I was working on a spreadsheet in my July wrap up, and I got a few questions regarding how I'm doing it, so I'm sharing that with you today. I used to track my series in progress on a website called FictFact, but they had to shut down. And so before they shut down, I was able to obtain a list of all of the series that I had logged on their website. And so I started my own spreadsheet. Now, my spreadsheet is very basic, it's not complicated at all. And as I show it to you, there are a couple different things that I'm doing with it, but I will also give you a few suggestions as to things that you might want to use instead of what I am doing on my spreadsheet. So, yeah, it's just a basic spreadsheet, nothing too fancy. I am housing it in Google Sheets in my Google Drive because I wanted to have access to it wherever, whenever. And yeah, so let me show you my spreadsheet and let's get started. Okay, so this is my series progress spreadsheet. Like I said, it's not very complicated. It's pretty simple. I did switch things up when I was first setting this up, and I will show you as I go through. But I do house this on Google Docs, and it's just a spreadsheet. So again, very simple. I've got the series name, author, and then number of volumes. Now, I did freeze these two rows because I wanted to be able to sort by either alphabetically, like you see here, or by author, just for ease of being able to get to information quickly. So if you're not familiar with Google Sheets, in order to freeze these two rows, you just go to View, Freeze, Two Rows. I'm not going to do it because I've already done that, but you can see now that those two rows are frozen. As I go down, I do still have these two rows do not move. So for those of you who are curious, I have 106 series that I am in the middle of. And you can also see that down here there are a few series that I've added that are not alphabetically placed. And I did that on purpose so that I could show you how I'd fix that. So, going back to the top, these are the series that I am currently in the middle of, and I just have the series name, author, and number of volumes that I have left to read. And this is just as far as I know. Obviously, if there are new volumes added, those would be added later in the following boxes. But for example, the 39 Clues Double Cross series has various authors. Each book is done by a different author. And so I read the first one for March Mystery Madness this year. So I've only got 2 through 5 left. At least I think I only have 2 through 5 left. But that's what I have listed here. Since I've already read number 1, my next volume to read is number 2. I didn't want to put the title names because I always have Goodreads with me or available to me either on my phone or via browser. So just to make things really compact and simple, I just put the volume number that I need next. And then when I go onto my library website or Goodreads or whatever, I'll know which volume to look for. So as we go down, you see I only have a few volumes to read in some series, like the All Souls series by Deborah Harkness. I've only got the 3rd volume left to read. It has been a while since I have read that series, though, so I will probably need to reread the first 2 again in order to finish out this series. But for like a series like this, Anita Blake, it's got a lot more now than I am up to date with on this spreadsheet. And so that tells me I've really only just started. And you can see that for a lot of these series, I read the first volume and that's about it. So as you go down, you'll notice that there are some things that you will see that will be different. Let me get to one. Okay, so for like example here, on the Give the Dark My Love series by Beth Revis, that is a currently publishing series, and so I know that I need to read volume 2, and volume 2 is not out yet, so I wanted a way to be able to tell myself that it is something that I am waiting to release. And so I just color in the box by going up here and picking a color. I think I picked this one and coloring in that box. So I know that this volume has not already come out. However, I do think as of the day that I am recording this, it is coming out soon. And I believe it's just a duology. So once I read that book, I will be done with that series. But for like the Goldie Schultz series that's right below it, you can see that I've already started to change things up in the way that I am doing things here. So this one has 17 volumes out as of the date that I created the spreadsheet, and I didn't want to have to make it like I have down here with the Hannah Swenson and just have a gazillion volumes to be adding on there. So what I did was just have the 2 columns, and then as I read them, I will just update this first column here with whatever volume I need to read next. This was extremely influenced by the fact that I had put in series like the Hunter Legend series by Sherilyn Kenyon, which has like 30 installments, and I believe the In Death series by J.D. Robb has a gazillion, and so I didn't want to keep adding numbers. My spreadsheet was already pretty wide as it is, and so to like kind of shrink things up and make it easier to see, I just started doing the 2 column viewing. Eventually I will have all of the series, at least I hope. If I work on this spreadsheet as I want to, I will eventually only have 2 columns for each series. So yeah, that's basically what I have now. And then as I read series or add new series to the list, I just add them down here. So like The Force of Good and Evil I read in August. That was a new series, or that is a new series that's being published that I just started. And the first volume, look at me talking about manga. The first installment came out this year, so I am waiting on the second one that will be coming out later. And so I have these 3 that are not in alphabetical order, and so to make them alphabetical, what I'm going to do is go to Format, I am going to, data, sort sheet by column, and I obviously want to make sure that I'm on the right column. So go back, data, sort sheet by column, A to Z, and now you can see those three are no longer here. Let's just go back up, and you can see that they are all in alphabetical order. So yeah, that basically is all that I have to my spreadsheet right now. I can show you how I will update this spreadsheet as I go. So for example, let me go up to here. The House of Night series. I just finished this series in September. So you can see that I only had I only had book 12 to read, and I did read that this month. So I am going to delete this row because I am done with it. So delete row. That takes it out of this list. And you can see down here that I have other tabs. So I have a completed series tab. And I just keep track of the series as I read them. So I'm going to write House of Night here and the year that I read it, 2019. So go back to the novels tab. These are all of the novel series that I'm in the middle of. You can see that I also have a manga series tab. These are all of the manga series that I am in the middle of. And again, I might be a little bit confused because I have a second column for series like Kami Can't Communicate, but it's because I know there are 13 volumes out in Japan right now. It's just that only one, as of the date that I created the spreadsheet, was out in English. Right now there are two, so I'm going to uncolor this one because it has already been published. Oops. In English. And so you can see that I had already done the spreadsheet before I came up with the two column design. So obviously series like Haikyuu have over 30 volumes. But I will show you how I add series to this list. So I just started a series called Ghost Hunt. I don't know the author's name at the moment, but I will figure that out later. I have read 3 volumes, so I need volume 4. I know this is an 11-volume series in English, so I'm going to put 11. Even though in Japan there are 12, unfortunately this series was dropped in English before it published the 12th volume, so I've only got 11 that I can read. But yeah, so then I added down here. I again do data sort sheet A to Z. That puts it back up in alphabetical order. And there it is. So I'll go in and fill this in later. And then I'll also show you how I update a series that I already have here. So like for instance, Haikyuu. In August for the Manga Spartan Challenge, I read up to volume 21. So I am just going to click on 16, right click, delete cell, shift left. Now, since I've got multiples, I'm just going to highlight up to 21, right click, delete cells, shift left. And that brings it to the current volume that I need to read next, which is volume 22. Now you can also see down here that I've got a couple other tabs. I just wanted to show you some other options in case you're interested in setting up your own spreadsheet like this. So I've got a tab here that's Crazy Rich Asians. This is a series that I am currently reading, and if you would prefer to have pages or tabs where it's per series, you can do it like this. So when you open up a new tab, let me just press on the plus sign. It's just going to say sheet number, and then you click on this down arrow, rename, type in your name, and then you'll have your tab that says whatever you want it to. So since I don't need this, I'm going to delete. Okay. So Crazy Rich Asians. I know there are 3 books in this series, so I wrote down each title, and then I put in a checkbox here, and to do that, you just click on, well, to check them, you click on the checkbox, but in order to add a checkbox, you just click on the cell, insert, checkbox, and that gives you the checkbox. And then I just made the column smaller. So since I don't need that, I'm going to edit undo. And so since I've already read Crazy Rich Asians, I'm going to click that one. And so I know that I still need to read China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems. Now, another option you could do is by author. And so I have one for Rick Riordan here. He has several series. I am planning on reading the Heroes of Olympus series, and I am in the middle of the Kane Chronicles series, and I've completed Percy Jackson. So this is how I've done it. You can bold the series name and then make your list of titles, put your check boxes in, make a space, next series, and so forth. You can also do this, like I know a lot of cozy mystery authors have a lot of aliases, so if you want to just keep all of the aliases together, you can definitely do that in a setup like this. So yeah, that is my spreadsheet. Like I said, it's nothing too complicated. It's very easy. Just wanted a simple and fast way for me to be able to see which series I am in the middle of, how many installments I have left to finish that up. And yeah, I'm going to get going on trying to shorten up the number of series that I am in the middle of. This spreadsheet doesn't have all of the series that I've started. Like, for example, there are a few series that I have started for, say, Bookline Cozy's Club, or just other series in general that I just wasn't impressed with either the first or second installment. And so those series that I've decided not to continue are not on this spreadsheet. So these are only series that I am intending on either reading some more and then making a decision, like the In Death series by J.D. Robb, 50 installments at the time of creating this series. It's a super long series for sure, so I'm not sure that I'm gonna want to put in the work to read the whole thing, but we will see. It's on the spreadsheet. It is one of my mom's favorites, as I've mentioned several times before. But yeah, let me know how you keep track of your series, or if this was helpful. I hope it was. And that is all I've got for you today. I hope you're all doing great. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.